Tonight they face the white-hot White Sox, who yesterday clinched their first playoff appearance in 12 seasons. It's the hottest team in the National League versus the best team in the American League. It's meaningful September baseball at Great American Ballpark, and it's all next on Fox Sports Ohio. Indeed, it is meaningful baseball from Great American Ballpark and a large test in front of the Reds. The Chicago White Sox in town, 9 games left in the season. The Reds in search of a playoff spot. And hi again, everyone. Alongside Chris Welsh, I'm Jim Day. This is fun stuff. Thanks for joining us for Reds baseball. A lot of pressure, though, tonight on the starting pitcher for the Reds, Tyler Mahle, but he's been good at home this season.
Well, he's been getting better and better overall, too. I mean, Tyler Mahle looks to me like a different pitcher than he was last year, even different than he was earlier this season. And what I mean by that is his command of that fastball. He's throwing it on the inner part of the plate to left-handers. That sets up a much better spot for his split-finger fastball that moves away, and his slider is getting a lot better as well. So, I mean, he's now relaxed a little bit. He's got more confidence, throwing the ball better than he ever has, and I think it could not have come at a better time for the Reds.
When you look at this White Sox team and you analyze some of the numbers, the record is great. The numbers really back it up. This is a scary team.
Well, it's a scary team to pitch to, but it's also a scary team to try to hit against. But take a look at some of the things that they've done. They got the best record in the American League, okay. They lead in runs scored per game. They're second in home runs. They've got a good earned run average. They have allowed the fewest number of home runs in the American League. So you put it all together, they've got 3 guys that are in the race for the MVP. They've got 1 guy who's going to be probably the odds-on winner of the Rookie of the Year, and they might have a guy who's in the top 3 in Cy Young Award as well. So it's a ball club full of superstars who are having great years this year.
And guys that can mash, and no one more than Jose Abreu.
Well, he can mash. I mean, there's no question about it. He's a guy that you have to be careful of where he's in the lineup, where the guys are ahead of him. Look where he ranks in the American League, first and second in every decent category there is. They love him in Chicago. He'll be a very tough challenge for every Reds pitcher for starting tonight with Tyler Mahle.
Hope you're looking forward to it. It's the Reds and the White Sox, first of 3 from Great American Ballpark when we come back here on Fox Sports Ohio. First
was brought to you by Chevy. Check out our award-winning lineup only at your Tri-State Chevy dealers. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good? It's Skyline time.
Trying to put too much pressure on ourselves. We've already done that. We put way too much pressure on ourselves earlier in the year. You know, people like yourselves, rightly so, put some good expectations on us. We had those in spring training and even into summer camp, and we fell short of that. But it doesn't mean that you can't bounce back from it. We're, living proof right now. We can put together a win streak. It has been done, and we're feeling pretty good about ourselves.
Well, as Curt Casali said, the Reds are starting to get hot at the exact right time as they head down the stretch, and they're going to get some help today as well. Back from paternity leave, Eugenio Suarez. He'll be back at third base and hitting cleanup in the lineup. He leads the Reds in home runs and RBI. The Reds happy to have him back, and this is today before the game. Get a little workout over there at third base, stretching that arm out. So good to have Eugenio back starting at third and hitting in the 4-hole tonight. Well, another guy that got off to a very slow start this year is Shogo Akiyama. But Akiyama is getting more comfortable and confident at the plate as the season goes on. He said the biggest thing for him is getting used to the velocity of Major League Baseball as opposed to what he was used to in the Japanese League. 333 with a 491 on base in September, and great at-bats going deep into counts. So you can see the confidence building every single game for Shogo. Let's shift off over to the Chicago White Sox type rookie. Here's a guy that may be the Rookie of the Year in the American League. Luis Robert, 11 home runs, 19 extra base hits, 30 RBI. Those lead all rookies in the American League. He also has 29 runs scored, which is second in the American League amongst rookies. This young man plays a stellar outfield, and man, can he hit. and hit with some power. So this is a young White Sox team that comes in here white hot. So it should be a great three-game matchup here in Cincinnati. Game one between the Southside Pale Hose and the Reds are coming up next. Jim Day, Chris Welsh on the call.
Games, because if anybody were to throw a uniform on and play in any sport, be competitive in anything, it feels so much better to be to feel like you have a shot, to feel like the games are meaningful, to feel like you're playing in front of people that care, and it feels great.
This is what it's all about. Reds with 9 games left in the season, hosting the American League's best. You got 6 of the 9 games here at home at Great American Ballpark. It's all in front of them. They come into today's play, controlling their own destiny, if you will, and we'll see what happens. Tyler Mahle on the hill for the Reds. And the righty, as Chris talked about in the open, has certainly made strides here in 2020.
Well, he has. He's coming off kind of a lousy outing himself, but every pitcher has bad days. But what I like about Mahle, what I've seen, is that he just looks more relaxed out there to me. And when you stay relaxed, you can use your body more athletically. You're going to get more movement on your fastball. I think the key for Mahle is I hope he didn't go over the scouting report too much and get psyched out by what the White Sox have done this year. I mean, they have annihilated opposing pitching, and they've got a bunch of sluggers in the lineup, but you got to take them one batter at a time, one pitch at a time. All you do is execute your pitches and then let it happen from there on, and hopefully Tyler will have a good outing and keep the Reds in this ballgame.
Here's the lineup that he'll face tonight, brought to you by Jeff Weiler Automotive. It will be Nick Madrigal leading off as Tim Anderson, one of the main cogs for the White Sox, just an off day today, not in the lineup, a break for the Reds. Yasmani Grandal, the former Red. Jose Abreu, look out for him. Jimenez, former Red Edwin Encarnacion back at Great American Ballpark. Moncada, Luis Robert, the rookie, Mazzara, and Yolmer Sanchez at shortstop. And here is Nick Madrigal. He will step in as a .324 hitter. Mahle into his windup, and we are underway. It's a first pitch strike. Fall is in the air. Game time temperature 65 degrees. Supposed to get into the 40s tonight, overnight. And another strike called by home plate umpire Mark Carlson. He's also the crew chief. And time called. The White Sox team has won 7 of their last 8 games, 11 of 13. And after clinching a playoff spot with a win over the Twins, they have their sights set on an American League Central title. Their magic number to clinch the AL Central is 6. Any combination of their wins or Twins losses will get that done.
This is what you're going to see a lot through up and down this lineup. Not everybody, but there are a lot of players in this lineup that will hit the ball the other way. They've kind of shortened their approach a little bit with 2 strikes. Madrigal's a young guy, only drafted in 2018. And he comes to the major leagues as a pretty polished player and hitter.
Count holds at 0-2. Tyler Mahle has pitched more than 6 innings in 3 of his last 4 starts. And here comes the 0-2 again. Soft liner over Moustakas, and it's a leadoff base hit.
Perfect example of making a good pitch and not getting a good result. Madrigal just trying to stay alive right here. He fouled off a couple. Look how he brought his hands inside just to try to either foul that ball off or get what he got, which is a little dinker in the shallow right field. Nice little player, number 4, taken in the draft just a couple of years ago out of Oregon State.
Tim Anderson has spent a lot of time at the top of the order. With the off day, it's Madrigal tonight, and now the former Red, Yasmani Grandal.
Well, Grandal's a guy who he's going to make Joey Votto look aggressive at the plate. I mean, he's very patient. He doesn't like to swing the bat. He doesn't chase breaking pitches. I mean, he's up there making you basically throw the ball right down Broadway.
Switch hitter batting from the left-hand side and looks at strike 1. Grandal now 31 years of age. Throw down. Drafted by the Reds in 2010. It was part of that trade going to the San Diego Padres, with Matt Latos coming the other way.
That's a big lead down there for Madrigal. Well, they must think that Grandal's got a few years left in him because they signed him to a 4-year contract, a big money deal. They signed Keuchel to a 3-year deal over the wintertime. They got 1-year deals out of Edwin Encarnacion and Gio Gonzalez.
Dive by Votto. He will get the out at first base.
I think once Joey got on the ground, he had made his mind up that he was going to go ahead and just make that play at first base. Even though he had plenty of time, had he gotten up and thrown the ball, he would have had a good throwing lane as well. This just jams Grandal. Splinters are flying everywhere. And Votto takes the sure out.
And the batter is Jose Abreu. An intimidating force just looking at him in the batter's box. Then you look at the numbers, and it's like, yikes. .332 batter, 17 home runs, 51 RBIs.
But what Abreu does is crushes mistake pitches. He's a really good slider hitter. He hits a lot of breaking balls for home runs. He's had a ton of home runs with 2 strikes on him. That's when guys are trying to strike you out with the breaking pitch.
Ball and a strike on Abreu. First major league player with 50-plus RBIs in his team's first 50 games of a season since Miguel Cabrera did it in 2013. And oh, by the way, Cabrera won the MVP that season. And Abreu, one of the leading candidates for the AL MVP here in 2020. Showed you leads all of Major League Baseball, 68 hits. And Barnhart and Malley can't get on the same page. If you were to stretch out his numbers over 162 games, he is on pace to hit more than 50 home runs in a regular season. In fact, 55. And 165 RBIs. One the count. There's none more that hustles than that guy right there. We've seen it throughout the season.
A grit player.
Solid.
The first groundskeeper to get his uniform dirty and stay that way.
You got a cheering section down there, too. They're rooting him on each and every time he has to go on the field. Gamer. On the hands, and Abreu in defense mode. Count holds at 1-2.
Well, obviously, the Reds have a scouting report on Abreu, and they know that he gets a lot of his damage done on breaking pitches, but those last 2 fastballs that Tyler Mahle has thrown really ought to give him a lot of confidence, because Abreu's not ready for that pitch. And if you can do it twice, can you want to back it up and do it again?
Down the right field line, it will drift out of play. And 1-2 yet again. And we'll do it again. Pitch. 2-2. Abreu 51 RBIs in 50 games, as we said. The last Major League player to qualify for the batting title with more RBIs than games played. Got to go back to 2000. Manny Ramirez. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase. Big out for Mahle.
It's a really good at bat. These are confidence-building at bats for a pitcher like Tyler Mahle. You know, he sees that pitch way outside and realizes, you know what, I don't have to throw the perfect slider to get these guys out. You know, sometimes when you start looking over that stat sheet or the scouting report, you tend to glorify the hitters to the point where you think, I'm never going to be able to get anybody out here tonight. But if you're having a bat like that against one of baseball's best, that ought to boost your confidence a little bit.
Two-out batter, Eloy Jimenez.
He is the exact opposite of Abreu. He really loves the high fastball.
Jimenez, a 301 batter, 13 home runs, 38 driven in. Ball right down Broadway. 1-1. Twenty pitches in the inning for Mahle. Trying to strand a runner at second base. Out tip into the mid of Barnhart. Mahle ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Look in for Mahle. Now he has what he wants. Barnhart wants it up high, then chooses at the last minute to go down and away. We see that a lot with a runner on second base. Catcher's now trying to deke the runner at second base, where the pitch is going to be framed at least. Full count. First base open. We got Edwin Encarnacion on deck. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mahle. Ahead of St. Louis for second place, which gets you a top 6 seed if you finish first or second in the division. The Cardinals are playing a doubleheader against the Pirates in Pittsburgh. They won game 1. So as we stand right now, deadlocked Reds and Cardinals for second in the division. And Pittsburgh had the bases loaded in that 7th and final inning and could not scratch across a run with game 2 looming. Here's David Bell's batting order, brought to you by Jeff Weiler Automotive. Shogo Akiyama leading off once again. Castellanos, Votto, Suarez back from the paternity list. Moustakas at second base, Winker the DH, Goodwin in center, Garcia and Barnhart round out the order. First pitch to Shogo Akiyama. The Reds facing another rookie starter, Jonathan Stever, on the hill for the White Sox.
Yeah, last year at this time, he had just finished pitching an A ball. Stever did. He's a young man. He's only 23 years old. Originally from Wisconsin, but he ended up doing his college work and pitching at Indiana University.
Coming off of his major league debut, you saw the numbers there. Sixth time in September that the Reds are facing a rookie starter. And Stever entered the rotation for the White Sox as 3 of their pitchers went on the injured list, which included Dallas Keuchel, whom we are scheduled to see tomorrow. He's expected to come off the injured list and face the Reds tomorrow,
which will set him up perfectly for pitching the second game of the playoffs.
Out into the right side. Madrigal makes the play, 1 down. The forward defensive alignment for the White Sox. Jimenez in left, Robert in center, Mazzara in right. And Robert can flat out play defensively. Moncada, Sanchez, Madrigal, Abreu with Grandal behind the plate. And the batter is Nick Castellanos. Wind up in the first pitch to Nick. .234 overall, 12 home runs, 29 RBIs. And Castellanos has been a gamer. He's the only Reds player to appear in every game this season. Last 2 games, singled and doubled in each of those. 4 for 8 in his last 2 games. Two balls and a strike on the Reds right fielder. Called a fastball at 94. Castellanos thought it was outside.
Well, Stever is just trying to pepper that outside corner over and over again, trying to make Castellanos chase the slider and then sneak a fastball there, and he did that. Going back with the slider now.
See you later. Castellanos puts a charge into one. Upper deck shot. Mercy me, the Reds out to an early lead. Number 13 for Castellanos as he drives a 2-2 pitch out of the yard.
Well, if you want to see the definition of a hanging slider, there it is. I mean, the only question there is how far will it go before it hits the seats? Even Stever wants to know.
Oh, that's a sweet sound. So nearly dented a seat up there, or a bleacher. 30th RBI of the season for Castellanos. And now Votto. Ball and a strike on Joey Votto. Per usual, pulling to Votto's shift side, or pull side, I should say. Now the 1-2. Otto having a little conversation with his former teammate, or at least organization mate, Grandal. There's a tapper. Going to be a tough play. And Votto with an infield hit. Swinging bunt. We'll take it.
Right on the Q-tip part of the bat. And Votto recognizes that as a base hit as soon as it comes off the bat. There's no way that the third baseman, O'Connor, can come all that way and make a play. So Votto with an infield hit. So the Reds have hit one 500 feet. They've hit one 5 feet. And both of them have turned into base hits.
And here's Eugenio Suarez back from the paternity list, which is a 3-day minimum. And the Reds kind of caught a break in that they were off yesterday. It was one of the 3 days. But congratulations to Eugenio and his wife. The birth of daughter Melanie. Right back in there and right in the cleanup spot. And we got to show you the newest addition to Reds country. Oh, look at that cutie. Tell you what, anytime you ask him, Eugenio, about his family, his kids, tears up. Did I get an all from you?
You sure did.
Nice.
Cute little baby.
Very cute. And she has a good daddy. That is for sure. Check swing. Peel down to first. James Hoy, your first base umpire. Balls and 2 strikes, the count on Suarez. Way out in front, count holds at 2-2. Reds winners of 5 straight. And during the winning streak, they have averaged 5.4 runs per game, which is more than they've averaged throughout the season. Count holds at 2-2. Got a good look at that. Fouled it straight back.
Yeah, one of the few fastballs that Stever has thrown in a good hittable area for the Reds. Has been primarily a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball. They made some adjustments to his delivery, got him straightened out on a better line towards home plate.
Center field hit well, but right there is Robert, 2 outs.
And when they straightened out his delivery, his fastball jumped up a little bit. In fact, in the minor leagues, he was routinely throwing in the low 90s, and then They kind of got his hips to open up, used his body a little bit better. He ended up throwing the ball up around 95 to 97 miles an hour, and that kind of propelled him all of a sudden from being in the middle of the pack to being the number 6 best prospect in the entire organization.
2-out batter Mike Moustakas. First pitch swinging, pops it up. Here comes Abreu. He has room. Let's leave a runner, but Nick Castellanos. Monster home run to left. One on left, Goodwin center, Castellanos in right. Suarez, Garcia, Moustakas, Votto, with Barnhart behind the plate. One hit off of Tyler Mahle in inning number 1. He struck out final 2 batters, and a first pitch strike to former Red Edwin Encarnacion. So Edwin back at GABP. Game in which he came up with Mahle had no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I don't think there was anybody out there who thought when Edwin Encarnacion was playing third base for the Reds, and he came up at age 22, that anybody would have thought he would have 16 years in the major leagues.
3 straight strikeouts for Mahle. I agree with you.
He has fashioned himself a very, very fine career.
High gas. And the batter is Yoan Moncada. Switch hitting third baseman. From the left-hand side, the first pitch from Mahle. Outside. One and one. Moncada hails from Cuba as well. In fact, this starting lineup filled with players that hail from Cuba. Two balls and 2 strikes. Long run by Suarez. Will he have room? He does. In that shift, he had to come a long way to get it. 2 down. Take it out. Went 108 feet to get that one. And now the rookie phenom, Luis Robert. Robert checks in at 246, 11 home runs, 30 RBIs. And a fastball at the knees for a strike. One and two. ground. Going to his left is Garcia, up and firing. Another fine inning turned in by Malley.
In interleague games this season. And how about the Cincinnati Reds at 2.02? That's the lowest all time by a National League team for a season. The Indians check in at 264. And then right there are the White Sox at 275. But boy, they are putting one heck of a season for these starting pitchers together. Jim?
All right, Big, thank you very much. Interleague action hasn't always been kind to the Reds, but if there's any time to turn up the wick, it is now. 6 of the final 9 games against American League Central foes, including these White Sox. The Reds will finish with 3 in Minnesota. And the White Sox are clear by 3 games in the AL Central of the Twins. Ball and a strike on Jesse Winker.
Well, it certainly doesn't mean that the White Sox want to lose every game here on out, just trying to prepare themselves for the playoffs.
Oh, no.
But they don't have to grind it quite the way the Reds do.
Hard hit ball, but right into the teeth of the shift. 1 down. The White Sox have aspirations of winning the American League Central and top record in the American League, although that doesn't mean quite as much in 2020 as it would other seasons, with the bubble going into effect for the playoffs after the wild card round. Although batting last, always an advantage. Certainly winning the division and having a #1 seed would be a huge goal. As the #1 seed will face the #8 seed. 2 versus 7 on down the line. Balls and a strike to count on Brian Goodwin. Three and 1. Full count on Brian Goodwin. Jonathan Stever, born in Cedarburg, Wisconsin. As Chris said, an Indiana Hoosier. Foul tip dropped by the catcher, or not handled by Grandal. And Goodwin stays alive. Back ground out to second. 2 down. (21-3) record if you break it down versus the Tigers, Royals, and Pirates. And those 3 teams at the bottom of the standings. Cubs, Indians, Twins, Cardinals, and Brewers. A little more dicey. Like a lot more dicey. 12-14.
Well, I think it's also a comparison of ball clubs that have, less than great bullpens. And when you have a season in which your starting pitching is not going very deep into a game, and for the most of the season, that was the way it's been. I mean, unless you have Trevor Bauer starting 7-inning games, you're not getting any complete games out there. And that's when a team with as many hitters as the White Sox can just mash middle relievers and blow out wins. They've got a +80 run differential to the White Sox. That's the most in the American League.
Robert over to get this one. And the Reds retired in 1-2. And it is that time to analyze who plays who over the final 9 games, or at least 9 games left for the Reds. Remaining strength of schedules amongst the NL contending teams. Look at the Reds' toughest strength of schedule amongst the Giants, Mets, Rockies, Phillies, Cubs, Marlins. Cardinals, whom the Reds are doing battle with for second place in the division, lowest strength of schedule in the National League.
Yeah, they're playing the Pirates, then the Kansas City Royals, and then they finish with the Brewers. Of course, that still would not leave the Cardinals with a full slate of games unless they come back and play on the 28th of the month and play a doubleheader, which could be necessary for them. They've been doubling up and doubling up ever since they were shut down for 17 days due to COVID.
Playing a doubleheader here today against the Pirates. They took game 1 against Pittsburgh 6-5. We'll see what happens in game 2. Pirates beat the Cardinals yesterday, which gave the Reds a half-game lead. Sole possession of second place in the division. 3-0 pitch to Mazzara. And some might be picking up a Reds game and haven't watched much this season. Just as a refresher, expanded playoffs here in 2020. 8 teams per league make it. The top 2 teams in each division guaranteed a playoff spot regardless of record. So the Reds' biggest goal is to finish second place in the National League Central. Division winners will be your top 3 seeds. Your second place finishers in each division will make up seeds 4, 5, and 6. It is a walk to Nomar Mazzara. Want to clap or cheer for your Reds even when you're not at the ballpark? Now you can with MLB's Cheer at the Ballpark. Visit MLB.com/cheer for a full list of cheerable games and let your team hear your excitement from home.
Well, I just think that, you know, a leadoff walk to the number 8 hitter who's hitting .217, has no home runs on the year. You're just digging yourself a hole right away. And I think that was just kind of a mental hiccup for Tyler Mahle. Well, I don't know if he was afraid he didn't want to give a pitch to Mazzara to hit. But with this lineup, the way it is, when you turn it over and start looking at Grandal and Abreu and Jimenez and Encarnacion, you just can't walk the bottom of the order.
And he's run the count to 2-0 on the 9-batter, Yolmer Sanchez. Two and one. Now that one up to 95, center cut. Three balls and a strike. That one just missing inside. That's playing Sanchez straight up in the infield, although Suarez playing off of third. Garcia shading up the middle. No shift. Sanchez was about ready to throw away the bat. Got the high strike call, did Mahle.
Yolmer, you can't have them all. You can't have that be a ball and also the previous pitch be a ball. One of those has to be a strike. And if you're Tyler Mahle, you're happy that you're going to get the high strike because that's where he makes his money, at the top of the zone.
Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. And some words from Sanchez to Mark Carlson.
Sanchez does not have very many games played or plate appearances so far this year. But he has been a regular player. He's got 7 years in the major leagues, and he's just blown away by that heat. I think he asked the umpire. I don't think it was anything bad there. I just think he asked Mark Carlson, would that have been a called strike as well? And I saw them both nodding.
Now the top of the order, Nick Madrigal. There goes the runner. Throw down from Barnhart. Got it.
No. Don't do that.
Omar Mazara tests Barnhart. Barnhart passes the test.
Barnhart has him by about 3 steps. I mean, it's a great release, perfect throw, and Mazara really didn't have that great of a break right there. Got a small lead and a slow jump. Quick feet and a strong arm. That's a bad combination for a runner.
Swinging out of your shoes.
That's the kind of swing you take at the county fair. Where you're trying to win one of the Cupid dolls off the top rack.
5 strikeouts for Tyler Mahle. Middle of the tonight's game. James White from Florence, Kentucky will win this brand new, built in the USA Tundra on display at Great American Ballpark. Register to win by visiting your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. 2 hits for the Reds, 1 for the White Sox. More importantly, 1 run for the Reds, none for the Sox. As Jonathan Stever will face 9-1-2 in the Reds order here in the 3rd. First at bat of the game for Tucker Barnhart. Breaking ball at 71.
We get the advantage of that center field camera. Look into the glove of the pitcher. Oftentimes we can tell ahead of time what pitch is coming. And when Jonathan Stever throws that curveball, you're going to see his index finger kind of spiked up.
Barnhart, right field, and gone! Touch 'em all, Tucker. Second solo home run off of Stever and a 2-0 Reds lead.
Boy, it has to make that so sweet for Tucker Barnhart. It came on an 0-2 pitch. He threw a couple of breaking pitches, and you see where Grandal wanted that. He wanted it up. Stever got it in the wheelhouse, and an 0-2 pitch that goes for a home run.
One time through the lineup for Jonathan Stever. 3 hits, 2 home runs. No balls and 2 strikes to count on Shogo Akiyama. Take a look at it real speed.
Boy, Tucker Barnhart throwing them out and hitting them out.
Here's Akiyama trying to continue what has been a very good month of September. .491 on base percentage here in the month. Coming into tonight's game, he did ground out his first time up. And now the 2-2 pitch. Right at the shortstop. One down. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Take you back to the first. Nick Castellanos, no doubter. Off the bat, knew it was gone. 106.4 miles per hour off the bat. 409 feet. I guess we'll believe that. The important part, it gave the Reds a 1-0 lead, which is now 2-0. He's got 2 hits off of Stever back in that first inning. We showed you Castellanos 106 miles per hour off the bat. Votto followed him, 43 miles per hour. The cue ball shot.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying take them how you can get them.
I think if you exit velo at each end of the spectrum, it's a good thing. If it's somewhere in between, maybe not so much. Now, I've heard of pitches being below hitting speed, you know, like the 68-mile-an-hour curveball that we've seen up there a few times by different pitchers. I'm wondering if there are ground balls that are hit below fielding speed that actually die before they get to the infielder. Oh, was reaching for another one.
Just got under this one. 2 outs. Even his outs sound good, Castellanos. And here is Votto. Doesn't matter if it's 43C. It goes down as a single in the first.
Absolutely right. .50 pitch mark for Jonathan Stever. Now the 1-1 to Votto. Center field. Hit well and goodbye, baby. No 43 miles per hour off the bat this time. It's a rocket to dead center field. Third home run of the game for the Reds in a 3-0 lead. Well, it was one of the few pitches that Votto had the ball up in the zone a little bit. Looked like Seaver was just trying to keep the ball down knee high or below, and he gets it up and out over the plate. And Votto in this ballpark, home run to Eddie Field.
Third of the game, second of the inning for the Reds. All solo shots. Votto now double-digit in the home run category with 10. Balls and no strikes, the count on Eugenio Suarez. 3-0. Four-pitch walk to Suarez. First walk surrendered by Stever.
And we'll get a visit by the pitching coach, Don Cooper.
Your guy, Don Cooper.
Old teammate of mine. We played together in the Yankee organization. Coop and I did. Had a chance to visit with him today. We did a little tech talk with Coop for the Reds Live pregame show. Gave us a rundown of the ball club from the eyeballs of the pitching coach.
Well, he's had a very good staff to eyeball. Do some reminiscing?
Yeah, we did. You know, one of the stories we told is that I got Coop to AAA.
I love this story.
And he was in AA Nashville. I was in AAA Columbus. And I pitched a terrible game one day and got knocked out early in the game. They brought in a pitcher named Roger Slagle, a right-hander who had just been called up from Nashville. Now, the entire Nashville team had conjunctivitis, and half of them couldn't see because it's an eye issue, right? And Slagle couldn't see very well, and unfortunately, he got hit with a line drive in the face. They took him out of the game. He had to go on the disabled list, and to take his place on the roster, they selected Donnie Cooper. So if I didn't pitch so poorly, Cooper had never made it to AAA.
It's great that he remembers it that way. And, of course, reminds you of it.
Oh, yeah.
So the opposing team you were pitching against couldn't see very well?
No, the pitcher who came in after me.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. You got him to AAA. Oh. After a four-pitch walk to Suarez. First two out of the zone to Moustakas. Reno.
Yeah, I'm surprised really with the game plan that I'm seeing out of Jonathan Stever. I didn't know he had so much different breaking stuff. I had read, and you know, you really don't know nowadays what you're going on, but he had a fastball, curveball. He's thrown a lot of changeups, and now when he needs to locate his fastball, he can't do it.
Back-to-back four-pitch walks. And that's going to get him stirring around in the White Sox bullpen. Stever making his second major league start. Reds have already plated two in the inning, looking for more.
Well, not only his second major league start, but you have to keep in mind that last year the two teams that he pitched for were Kannapolis and Winston-Salem. So we're talking about A ball and high A, and then this next step really in competitive baseball is going to be the major leagues.
Gio Gonzalez, the lefty, warming up for the White Sox. Winker started the season slowly, went on a tear, was the hottest hitter in baseball. Has since cooled off again. In fact, he is about as due as you can come. Over his last 23 after grounding out in the second. Big chance to break out of it right here. In the air, right center field. How about that for a breakout? Way out of here. 3-run home run, and the Reds are in business. Third home run of the inning, fourth of the game.
Well, it was a spinner that was just right there, and Winker hit the ball very hard his first time up, although went right to the second baseman. No one's catching that one unless they've got a seat in the moon deck.
And that's going to be it for Jonathan Stever, who comes to Cincinnati and greeted rudely. Welcome to the Bigs. 6-0 Reds. Skyline or tablet. Gio Gonzalez, the lefty, called upon early in this one.
Yeah, 13 years in the major leagues for Gonzalez. We've seen him pitch in all sorts of different uniforms. Oakland, mostly Washington, although he was an all-star 2 times, once with the A's and then his first year with the Nationals when he was 21-8. That was 2012. He's been with Milwaukee the last couple of seasons, signed a 1-year deal here with the White Sox.
Batter will be Brian Goodwin. Here we are 2 outs into the third. The Reds have a 4-home run game. It's their third 4-home run game this year. Against the Royals and the Pirates. And now with Votto going to double-digit home runs, the Reds are the 4th team with 4 players with double digits in home runs. Dodgers have 5 players. Braves and Twins have 4 as well. Ball center field, but what an inning for the Reds. They will carry a 6-0 lead into the 4th. Barnard led it off. Went Yad. Votto, solo shot, and Winker, 3-run bomb. 6-0 lead. He has been good so far through 3. He has struck out 5, given up 1 hit. Walked 1 batter.
Well, it doesn't mean you can just pipe fastballs down the middle here and expect the White Sox to roll over. They're just too good overall to do that. But the edge is off the ball game a little bit. I think the edge was off the White Sox ball club after playing a very emotional series against the Twins, winning that, clinching the division.
Hey, a long way to go in this one, but I'm sure with the Reds with the off day yesterday, sat around for 2 days and heard nothing about this White Sox team and how they can mash. Well, it has been the Reds that have mashed early in this one. So they've answered the bell, at least through the first 3 innings, have the Reds. Here comes Jose Abreu. Wearing number 79, which is odd for one of the top players in the game to wear such a high number as a position player, but his mother chose the number for him. He wore lower numbers when he played in Cuba, when his mom said, "Wear a number so people will remember it." Chose 79, and he stuck with it.
Yeah.
Says every time he puts it on, every time he sees 79 hanging in the locker, thinks of his mom.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Good looking pitch right there for Mahle. That's that split finger pitch that he throws from time to time. Uses that as his changeup. And like the slider, that's getting better and better with every time he throws it.
0-2. Count will hold it 1-2 to Jose Abreu. And now a quick message from La Rosas.
Every game this year, 11 strikeouts means a $1,000 donation to the Reds Community Fund.
5 in the books as far as strikeouts go so far. One, two again. Two balls and 2 strikes. Mahle at the 60 pitch mark. 1 out into the 4th. Struck him out. Second time he struck out Abreu.
Was some action on that pitch right there. That again is that split finger pitch.
Pretty. Eloy Jimenez, 2-out batter. Base hit left field. Only the second hit off of Mahle.
Yeah, neither hit very much damage at all. The first hit was a leadoff hit of the ball game, a little jam shot off the bat of Madrigal, and Jimenez finds a hole between a shortstop and a third baseman.
Encarnacion struck out to begin the second. Ball and a strike on Edwin. Encarnacion, 37 years of age. Hard to believe.
I remember him as a 22-year-old breaking in with the Reds in 2005. He was on that ball club with Jason LaRue and Sean Casey. Adam Dunn, just 25 years old then. Of course, Junior was on that team. Dunn hit 40 that year, the rookie year for Encarnacion. Junior hit 35. Brian Friel, Willie Mo Pena.
Willie Mo. 7 strikeouts for Tyler Mahle. The Reds take on the White Sox Sunday, presented by Homemade Brand Ice Cream. Yummy. Reds Live starts at 12:30. For additional information, visit Reds.com. Tomorrow night's game picked up by the Big Fox. And it will be a primetime pitching matchup tomorrow night. Scheduled to go for the Reds, Trevor Bauer. Dallas Keuchel scheduled for the White Sox. Gio Gonzalez still on the hill for the White Sox. It's a 2-ball and no strike count to Jose Garcia. Wide up at the 2-1.
The bread and butter for Gonzalez throughout his entire career was a fastball that would just take off when you throw it up in the zone, and a big old roundhouse breaking pitch. I don't know if he called it a slurve or a slider, but if you were a left-handed hitter, he started somewhere behind your right ear, and it would end up down and away just off the outside part of the plate.
Hard hit ball into left field. It's a leadoff base hit for Jose Garcia.
He shows a quick bat, Garcia does, and that's one of the ingredients that you're always looking for as far as the hitting tools go. And that ball was right inside on him. He brought his hands in and got the bat head on it.
Leadoff man aboard for Tucker Barnhart. Scored 5 in the third. It started with Barnhart's solo home run. No balls and 2 strikes on Tucker.
Same count he had for the home run.
And down he goes. 1 out. First Reds batter to strike out tonight.
Yeah, this is the breaking ball that I guess it's the 2020 version of the Gio Gonzalez breaking pitch. A little tighter, keeps it down in the zone and gets a strikeout.
Well, a ground out so far for Shogo Akiyama. Ball gets away from Grandal. There goes Garcia. And he'll reach second base on the wild pitch. Probably one that Grandal thinks he should have kept in front of him.
Yeah, he did everything right, though. He tilted forward. He tried to get his body in front of him. It looks like the ball was spinning so much he just hit him on the side rather than on his chest protector.
Another one that bounces, and this time scooped by Grandal.
Grandal was a major upgrade defensively, throwing, framing, at least receiving the baseball, let me put it that way. And to James McCann, he's taken over really full-time behind the plate. McCann's having a great year at the plate.
2 balls and a strike on Akiyama. On the ground, off of Garcia. He is out. Let's hope he's all right.
Well, if it stings, he'll remember it. I mean, it's one of the rules that every baseball player does know, that if you're hit by a batted ball, most of the time anyway, you are going to be out. It looks like he tried to step over it, and it just hit so hard that it hit him.
Well, a tough break for the Reds. With 2 outs and a runner on first base, it's Nick Castellanos. Last play goes down as a base hit for Akiyama. Put out 6.
That's that part of the rule book that nobody ever looks at.
But I know you do.
Well, not really that much, except when I talk with Ron Roth. But it's at the very end of the rule book. It begins at 9, and it's about scoring. And you give the put out to the defensive player who was closest to the infraction. And you can't penalize the hitter, so he gets a base hit.
For the books, 6-0. Obviously, still some work to be done, but credit Tyler Mahle. 4 innings pitched, and he has stood toe-to-toe with one of the top hitting teams in all of baseball, if not the top team. It's been very impressive.
I think it just goes to show you that if you make your pitches, you'll get big league hitters out. He did not pitch anywhere near this well as last time out. That was on the 13th against the Cardinals at St. Louis. Ended up going only 2 2/3. He walked 4 in that ball game.
1-0 to Yoan Moncada.
Good changeup pitch there.
Suarez giving chase, has room. 1 out. Second time that Moncada has fouled out to Suarez. And now the rookie Luis Robert. Robert has cooled off in the month of September. He was the American League Rookie of the Month for July/August. It's MLB rookies with 11 home runs and 30 RBIs, both tops amongst rookies. And making a serious bid for Rookie of the Year honors. He would be the 12th White Sox rookie to ever win that award. Jose Abreu being the last in 2014. Two balls and 2 strikes.
You know, this is the kind of combination that every baseball organization would love to have, which was, you know, you make a few signings, they work out for you. You make some trades, and they work out in a tremendous manner for you. And then your young prospects, your best players like Jimenez and like Luis Robert are all come along about the same time. And now you're peaking, but not just for 1 year. This is not a very short window here for the White Sox. This is a window that can last quite a while. They still have a lot in their farm system. Last year was Jimenez, number 4 in Rookie of the Year. This year, Robert, probably the leader right now, as you said. That's a good slider from Mahle.
8 of them for Tyler. Drafted Tim Anderson in the first round. International free agents, Abreu, Luis Robert. Traded for Giolito, who the Reds are not going to see in this series. Jimenez, Moncada, and the big free agent signings, McCann, Keuchel, Grandal. A little bit of everything. You talk to the White Sox brass, and they didn't expect this much success this early. They call this phase 2 of their rebuilding. So the window actually opening up early. As you said, they've got a chance to keep this group together, do some damage. They're a big team. When they came out...
Physically big, you mean?
Yes. I mean, when they came out of the dugout for batting practice, it's like, you know, for those that have played high school or college football, and the other team comes out and they're just huge. You're like, how are we going to beat these guys? It was kind of like that. I mean, I know baseball's a different animal than football, but it was like, wow, they've got some seriously big dudes on that team.
Now, for some reason, Tyler Mahle's having a hard time throwing strikes to Nomar Mazara. Mazara, former Texas Ranger, not having the kind of year here with the White Sox that they expected. They expected him at the very least to bring some home run pop.
Needed a strike and got it.
He has not yet hit a home run in his 34 games with the White Sox.
Swing and a miss. 3-2.
Mazara was a heralded rookie when he was back with the Texas Rangers. It's about 5 years ago. He was 21 years old, came in 5th in Rookie of the Year that year. 20 bombs and 64 ribbies.
No one over there. Good piece of hitting by Mazara. And it's a 2-out base runner for the White Sox.
Well, he's late on everything. And I know that nowadays you're going to have to, that everybody's going to shift because, you know, they've got way more information than we have. But if I only went by this at bat, I wouldn't shift on him because he's late on the Mahle fastball. Now, if you bring somebody else in, maybe you put the shift on. But those hits for Mazara have been few and far between.
Mazara's been on both times, a walk and now a single. And now the 9-batter Sanchez. Broken bat. Castellanos makes a running catch.
Nice catch. Went a long way for that.
Nicely done. It's easy to place your order online and pick up at the store. Try it today at Kroger.com. By Ford, visit buyfordnow.com. And by USAA, proudly serving the military community. What you're made of, we're made of. First pitch strike to Joey Votto.
Boy, Votto did a couple of interesting things there before that first pitch by Gonzalez. Number one, he did a little imitation of Jesse Winker, the lean back, the reverse C. And then the next thing he did is he kind of snuck up in the batter's box a little bit, maybe looking for a breaking ball from Gonzalez.
We saw Votto talking to Winker earlier in the dugout. Maybe he was saying, because you hit that 3-run home run, I'm going to give you a little salute, a little lean back.
Could be, yeah.
Hurt himself right there?
I think he hurt his left
Yeah.
hand. Either he jammed himself or the ball came in and hit the bat, and he's got a bit of a stinger. This was the defensive swing. Take another look.
Left hand, he was shaken out.
Votto trying to do a good job of disguising where it hurts. And while we're looking at the reviews, the head trainer Steve Bauman and David Bell walked out to the batter's box, and Votto kind of shooed him back. So that's pretty good. Those are good numbers, accumulation of numbers off a very tough left-hander like Gonzalez.
Gonzalez goes back inside, not quite as far inside. There's our guy again. Look at the hustle.
Not bad.
Two balls and 2 strikes to count on Votto.
I don't know. If I saw a batter nursing his left hand, I'm
Right
busting
back
that
in there.
fastball right on in there. Just see
Absolutely.
what you got, unless it's a Academy Award performance by Votto, which it could be. Guy's pretty slick.
Battle won by Gonzalez.
Yeah, he came with the breaking ball down the dirt almost, and gets a strikeout. Actually, it looked like a changeup. Odd pitch.
First pitch to Suarez. Eugenio flied out his first time up, walked and scored in the 3rd. Through the first of back-to-back walks off of starter Jonathan Stever, and the Reds made the White Sox pay for that. Winker followed with a 3-run home run. One.
That's that big curveball I've been talking about from Gonzalez.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Down goes Suarez. He has 3 straight punch-outs for Gonzalez.
You know, I've always thought when hitters take a pitch standing straight up, like Suarez does right there, you actually raise the top of your strike zone from the perspective of the umpire. And if you go back to, I don't know, a guy like Pete Rose, for instance, who would always kind of squat down there, and when a high pitch would come, he'd even duck a little bit more. But that pitch was inside, and, you know, Suarez trying to get out of the way, and the first thing you do is you straighten up and move backwards.
Hitters count on Moustakas. 2 balls, no strikes. To Gonzalez into his windup. 3-0. It's a walk to Moustakas, 2-out base runner. Gotta bring up Jesse Winker. Last time up, broke an 0 for 23 skid and did it in a big way. Give me the numbers. Second longest home run by a Red this season. Way up into the moon deck, 447 feet. And a first pitch strike from Gonzalez. Ball and a strike on Winker. Winker serving in the DH role tonight. Two and one. You can feel September in the air. Little nippy here tonight.
Yeah, maybe even a little bit like October.
On the ground. The Reds are done in the fifth.
The game, the Tampa Bay Rays, the third team to clinch a playoff spot. These White Sox and the Dodgers also. The Reds have 4 home runs. They got a ways to go. 19 in a 3-game series versus Toronto. That's what the Yankees hit. It's a major league record for any series. And how about Jared Walsh? He's the first rookie in Major League Baseball history with both an RBI and a run scored in 9 straight games. He's the first American League player since David Ortiz did it back in 2002.
All right, Pick, thank you very much. White Sox have mustered 3 hits off of Tyler Mahle through 5 innings. He will get the top of the order here in the 6th. 3rd time through the lineup. Winners of 5 straight, coming off of a 4-game sweep of the Pirates, and they've done it. They've been team victories, although that finale against the Pirates was just a 1-0 win. So mostly centered around pitching. Reds pitchers haven't allowed multiple base runners in an inning in their last 14 innings pitched. Nick Madrigal on his way to second base, and he's in there with a leadoff double.
Pretty good bit of hitting right there. That's one thing that you learn about when you're facing a guy like Madrigal, is that whether he's the type of hitter you want to go upstairs on or not. I've always thought that players who are short normally have short arms, and they're hard to get inside on, and they're hard to get the ball by upstairs. And he hits that sharply down the right field line, picks up a double. 3rd time on the night out of 6 frames that Mahle's had the leadoff hitter on.
And now the 3rd AB for Yasmani Grandal. Down and a fly out. Now the 1-1. 90th pitch of the night for Mahle.
Grandal will be very content just to take a base on balls. As I said, the first time he was up, his swing rate overall is 34%. The average in Major League Baseball is 46%. So he's up there for an eye test.
And it is a walk to Grandal. The first two have reached in the 6th.
He read the small line that time.
And here comes pitching coach Derek Johnson.
And part of the message will be, Tyler, the only way the White Sox are going to get back into this ball game is if we help them. If our fielders boot the ball behind you, which they probably won't do, or if you walk more batters. Now, if DJ doesn't give that kind of talk, I can tell you it's been given to me before.
This will get some action in the pen as well. TJ Antone just now up and throwing.
Yeah, it's 6-0, and you think, you're pretty confident, that there doesn't seem to be much of an edge going on right now with the White Sox. They celebrated their ability to get into the playoffs by clinching yesterday. But in a quick strike offense like the White Sox, you just can't leave it for granted that they're going to go away and not come back.
Particularly with Jose Abreu in the batter's box, 2 on and nobody out. And he hits Abreu with the first pitch.
Right on the elbow. Abreu has no pad on that elbow, and fortunately he's not even rubbing it, so. That's good. A glance off the forearm, no damage.
Easy for us to say. Don't look now. Bases loaded and no one down.
He'll get a little coaching down there, Abreu will, from Cincinnati native Daryl Boston. Nick Capra is the third base coach.
Eloy Jimenez, the batter. The 1-0. Broken bat. Suarez bobbles it and just gets the out at second base. A run does score. White Sox on the board.
Getting outs is the name of the game right now, and I think that flying bat may have either distracted or spooked Suarez a little bit. He kind of had a lot of things going on. Had a runner running in front of him, had that bat head flying out there. He had a ground ball that he needed to field and get it to second base, and was able to get one. Not so sure they get Jimenez anyway. He's pretty fleet of foot.
It's a fielder's choice RBI for Jimenez. RBI number 39. First and third now. One out for Edwin Encarnacion. That run ends the Reds pitcher's 19-inning scoreless streak.
Wow.
19. Fastball at 95, well placed. Check swing, Peel. 2-1. Big cut by Encarnacion. Came up empty on the 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
Well, that tells me that Malley's fastball still has some pretty good life. And I think if you run it up the ladder, you may have a chance for Encarnacion to chase.
Two-two pitch. Chase he did, but got a piece of it. Count holds at 2-2. Little tapper. Malley out to make the play, looks the runner back and gets the out. Nicely done. Two down.
You know, on a play like this, the most important part for the pitcher is to get off the mound in a hurry so that you don't have to hurry the throw. He checks home, and he's able to throw at the first base. Not a lot of speed down there.
Dahl thought about it.
Yeah, he went about halfway.
See him look back to his third base coach, wondering if he should have gone. The night is over for Tyler Mahle. 5 2/3 innings. So far, 1 run given up. Here comes TJ Antone. 2 runners on base right now are his responsibility. 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, and he will watch on as he hopes TJ Antone can get the Reds out of the 6th.
It's a solid outing for Tyler Mahle. Really a nice bounce back outing after walking 4 his last time out. Threw the ball extremely well here tonight.
Batter is Yoan Moncada. And a first pitch strike from Antone.
And Malle's outing will look a lot better on paper if Antone can get out of this inning without gassing in these runs.
Bailing out, and Barnhart actually asked for an appeal.
That would have been insult to injury had he been rung up on this one.
You're not kidding.
Barnhart said, oh, yeah, he went. Oh, that's a good curveball. Man, oh, man, is that a good one.
Back at the third, 2 outs. 2-1 count on Moncada. 3-1. Pitch for Antone. You got Luis Robert due up next. And it's a walk to Moncada, and that'll load him up. Second walk of the inning by Reds pitching. Hit a batter. Now it's rookie versus rookie. Couple outside that Robert chases. No balls and 2 strikes. Antone in the driver's seat. See what he offers on the 0-2. Swing and a miss. And all about the long ball for the Reds in the first. Castellanos solo shot. Barnhart solo shot in the third. Votto, Winker. 3-run shot for Winker. 4-home run night for the Reds. Tyler Mahle, terrific start tonight. 5 2/3 innings. Only 1 earned run. Struck out 8. Right now, his club with a 6-1 lead. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, and we are about to see a major league debut for the White Sox. Lefty Garrett Crochet, wearing number 45.
We're number 45 because they feel he's going to be around a while. He was selected this year in the 2020 draft. First round, 11th pick overall from the University of Tennessee.
Opened up a lot of eyes when they added him to the big club.
Well, you know, think about it for a second, because when you're pitching in college this year, they had a very short season because the pandemic shut the college season down right away. So he pitched in 1 game this year because he had arm soreness in the very beginning of the college season. Then they drafted him, signed him, put him to the alternative site, and here he is pitching in a major league game for, well, right now the best team in the American League.
And his first pitch in the bigs goes to the backstop. High leg kick, the breaking ball in for a strike.
I think he had everybody bailing on that one. I would imagine that Grandal doesn't know much about him. Goodwin certainly doesn't know anything about him. What a big moment for this young man. 100.
Mercy. Now you see why they called him up. Can't teach 100. So skipping right over the minor leagues. Last lefty to do it, you got to go back to Jim Abbott in 1988.
Well, the last player to go right from the amateur ranks to the major leagues without playing in the minor leagues, we know him well because he was a draft pick of the Reds, Mike Leake. The most recent player promoted from their draft year to the major leagues, we know him too. That would be Brandon Finnegan. He was promoted by the Kansas City Royals.
First batter that Crochet faces goes down in the scorebooks as a K.
Let me tell you something. That will not be his last K in the big leagues. 100 miles an hour with that curveball.
Wow. Ball just explodes out of his hand. And now Jose Garcia. Swing and a miss. Threw it by him at 101. Goodness. See you later.
My goodness.
One looking, one swinging. Welcome to the Bigs. .101 just out of the zone to Barnhart. And working quickly.
And throwing even quicker.
Crochet, a slow process. Not from this guy. Major league debut is a 1-2-3 inning for Garrett.
Players who have played for the Reds in their career have hit 200 or more major league home runs. These are active players. Who are they? 6 of them.
All right, here we go. Tejay Antone has been so mighty impressive here in 2020. And if the Reds are going to get to where they want to get to, and that being the playoffs, Antone could be given a lot of credit. They have needed a guy that has gone back and forth from the bullpen and starting, and he has done it masterfully.
Well, you think about it, the Reds are really fortunate that they had Tejay Antone show up. I mean, he was a complete surprise, at least the way he's pitching now, that no one ever thought that he was going to be this much of a contributor at the big league level this year. They thought they had plenty of arms down in the bullpen this year to hang on. They were able to sign Nate Jones very late. So he was kind of a surprise to the organization as well. But Antone has been a real lift, big-time lift to that bullpen.
Tejay, spelled T-E-J-A-Y. Parents wanted him to be Tony Jr. or TJ, but they wanted it different. Thus the spelling of Tejay, T-E-J-A-Y. Dad said, quote, "It'll be a big league name." Well, not only a big league name, it's attached to a big leaguer. Count holds at 0-2 on Mazara. We talked about his father, Tony, before. Remember the Oklahoma Sooners, 1975 National Championship football team. The 1-2. Popped it up. This will be Moustakas. And here comes Yolmer Sanchez.
You know, Jim, there certainly isn't the intensity in this ball game that you would have if the White Sox were still battling for a position in that American League. But, you know, they're a very fine team, and they're going to send out Keuchel tomorrow and against Trevor Bauer. Great pitching matchup. Sunday's game ought to be really a good game. We'll have that for you on Fox Sports Ohio. But next week when the Milwaukee Brewers come into town, that will seem as close to playoff atmosphere because you'll have two teams playing must-win games.
Yep.
Rather than just one team playing one must-win game like it is here with the Reds.
And the Reds hope to get Sonny Gray back for that series. David Bell continues to be optimistic. He shared optimism again today and actually mentioned the next series. I believe Gray can come off on Monday. And all signs point towards him being back. It's going to be interesting to see the rotation down the stretch. Bauer goes tomorrow, and David Bell admitted that him pitching on 3 days rest for the rest of the season is on the table. And if that happens, you can get, including tomorrow, 3 starts out of Trevor Bauer. And with an off day, the Reds have an off day coming up Thursday. So with that off day mixed in, you don't need a 5-man rotation right now. And he said there's a couple of guys, didn't mention any names, that are going to have to give us innings out of the bullpen down the stretch. It'll be interesting to see how they divvy it up. Bauer has always wanted to pitch on 3 days rest, every time. So assuming that all goes well tomorrow, you could run him back out there on Wednesday, and if need be, the final game of the regular season.
Well, at this point in the year, it's not about eating up innings. It's about giving innings with zeros. And whatever way you have to mix and match, you're going to do it.
Yep.
Reds have come such a long way. I mean, I think I read somewhere today that, you know, they've got a 50% chance of being in the playoffs. Today, a week ago, that was down to about 15%.
Yep.
They've done a great job here in the last week to get themselves back in it. Play baseball more like the baseball we expected to see all summer long. I thought Curt Casale put it in an excellent manner today during his interview, where he said that they put a lot of pressure on themselves early in the year. They began to read the press clippings, listening to all the questions about what do you think, how great this lineup is, and how you're going to blow through this division. And everybody's picking the Reds as a trendy little pick in the National League. And pretty soon you believe what you read and you forget to go out and play. And when you do and you don't get off to a good start, then you press a little bit. And I think that's exactly what happened to this ball club.
A good night for Nick Madrigal. A couple of hits, doubled his last time up and scored the White Sox only run.
Yeah, both of them opposite field hits. Both of them hits that were up in the zone.
Trying to hold on to second place in the division. They entered today's play half game ahead. St. Louis playing a doubleheader in Pittsburgh. They won game 1 of that doubleheader to virtual tie with the Reds, but in game 2, bottom of the 5th, Pirates lead 2-1.
I mean, given the fact that so many makeup games that the Cardinals have had to play, it's remarkable what they've done so far.
It really is. Whether they make it or not, what they've dealt with and how they've handled it to this point has been remarkable. Because they're running on fumes right now. Right back to Antone. A 1-2-3-7 turned in by the...
Retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Split the pot tickets still available online. It's a rolling jackpot. How about that total? Nearly 40 grand. And it will be a rolling jackpot until the last game of the regular season. You can purchase now at Reds5050.com. Must be 18 and older and in the state of Ohio to purchase. Almost 40,000 large. And all proceeds going to the Reds Community Fund, at least splitting that pot. New pitcher for the Reds. This guy's been around the block a time or two, the sidewinding Steve Cishek.
Okay, he's now 34 years old. He's pitching in his 11th Major League season. Sidewinding right-hander that back in the day when he was collecting all those saves for the Marlins was mighty nasty.
We'll get the top of the order here in the 7th. One for 3 night for Shogo Akiyama.
For Cishek, he's one of those rare players that has played for both the Northsiders and the Southsiders here in Chicago. Last couple of seasons, he was with the Cubs. Boy, did they lean on him hard.
Sure
2
did.
years ago, he pitched in 80 games for the Cubs, 70 innings overall, and last year he appeared in 70 games for the Cubs.
Successful as Cishek has been, the Reds are probably glad that rookie Crochet isn't on the hill. That was an incredible 6th inning. And it's a leadoff walk to Shogo. I mean, some guys pass the eye test, and granted, it's one Major League appearance for Garrett Crochet. Some pass the eye test, and then some fully open your eyes. That was an eye-opener.
He could really throw that pearl.
Yes.
I'll resist any other Crochet.
I already dropped the really
Innuendos, okay.
tired one anyway, so you might as well join the party.
When he had him stitched up. A double loop.
Wow. Okay. Count is 1-0 to Nick Castellanos. Have you ever crocheted in your life? You sound like you know what you're talking about.
I've knitted a little. I've not crocheted.
There is a difference, right? Knitting and crochet.
I've done no needlepoint either, but I'm considering all of those are on the table right now.
It's a long off season, you know. A lot of time on our hands. Dangerous count to Castellanos. A strike that Castellanos can't believe.
You know, every time I see Steve Cishek pitch, I ask myself the question, why aren't there more pitchers that throw sidearm like Cishek? If he's so difficult to hit, he's had 11 years in the major leagues. His career earned run average is 2.7.
One out.
He throws from an arm slot that no hitter ever takes batting practice, because the batting practice pitcher couldn't get it over the L screen.
True. Never thought of it that way.
He's picked up 132 saves in his career, Cishek has.
And I'll go to work on Votto. And a first pitch strike. Votto has seen Cishek 9 plate appearances. 0 for 4, but 5 walks. Cishek's glove there.
Yeah, is Manuel Domingos looking for his glove? Because I think we found it.
Check it out.
little bit of detective work there, Detective Day.
Well, bouncing around and then jumps right back in. I think he wanted that pitch back. Into left center field. And Votto off the wall. Akiyama rounding third, heading for home. Here comes the relay throw to the plate, and it gets away, and the Reds have played add-on. Votto with the RBI double.
Boy, Joey hit the ball hard tonight. Not the first time up, but he got a base hit for that. The second 2 times, though, for Votto, or 2 of the last 3 anyway, a home run to dead center field. This ball nearly leaves the yard left center field. And Akiyama beats the throw to the plate. So the Reds get that run back.
Second run of RBI of the game for Votto. And a chance to add on more. Runner on second base for Suarez. Up a little information on the name that's on Cishek's glove. It's the name of his grandfather. Passed away in 2003. Says his grandmother loves it. And that went off of Suarez.
That's a nice touch. It gives you a little bit of an insight as to who Steve Cishek is.
No doubt about it.
And if you're not a good character, you don't last a long time in the major leagues. Pretty nasty pitch.
Down goes Suarez. Cishek also carries a card with him to the mound of a Bible verse, Colossians 3:23. Said he could recite it in his head, but he pulls it out of his back pocket, makes him slow down, take the time to reflect. Let's get another run in the 7th. 7-1. All right, gentlemen, thank you. Looking forward to seeing you guys after this one. Right now, the smiling side of the scoreboard. TJ Antone will face 2, 3, and 4 in the White Sox order. Grandal, Abreu, Jimenez. Ball and 2 strikes on Grandal. 0 for 2 night for Grandal. He did walk in the 6th. He's got a run in the 1st, 5 spot in the 3rd. White Sox got their one and only run in the 6th. Reds got that run back in the 7th. RBI double by Votto. And for Votto, it is a 3-hit night. First 3-hit game in 2020 for Joey as Antone disposes of Grandal. His second strikeout of the night.
You know, Antone throws just hard enough really to keep you honest. I mean, he fires it up there at 97, and then he gives you such fast arm action on that breaking ball that just, he fools you with the break, but he fools you mainly with the change in speeds.
Zone came in for Tyler Mahle, 2 outs in the 6th. Walked his first batter, but struck out Luis Robert with the bases loaded. Biggest out of the game in this one. A 1-2-3 7th, and now strikes out Grandal to begin the 8th.
You know, if we didn't know that T.J. Antone was a rookie, you could really not tell at all by his stage presence on the mound. He's always looked so comfortable.
Garcia. 2 down. And that'll bring up Jimenez. Talking about Votto's 3-hit night, first of the season, and we should not be lost upon us that he's also now 5th on the all-time Reds RBI list. He was tied with Barry Larkin. 2 RBIs tonight. Now owns 5th on the all-time list all by himself. Ball and a strike on Jimenez. Little half swing. 1-2. Votto, diving stop, flip to Antone, nicely done. By Dinsmore, open daily on Saturdays and Sundays in September. Get a free Tony Perez bobblehead with the purchase of a regular price ticket. For hours and details, visit redsmuseum.org. And Doggy with the cutout. Concepcion, Geronimo, looking good.
And there's many more as you go on. Is that Leo Cardinal? Was it number 16? Was that Leo?
It's like Pedro Borbon.
And Jose Rijo all the way to the right down in the corner.
Oh, we got Pedro Borbon reference on the broadcast. It's a good night so far. New pitcher for the White Sox, Jose Ruiz. Appearing in just his 3rd game. Reds hitting for what they hope is the final time. Three-run home run in the 3rd blew open this game. Certainly the biggest hit for the Reds tonight. The Reds hit 3 home runs in that 5-run 3rd inning to take command of this one. The Reds with 7 on the board. They have scored 7 or more runs 3 times in the last 6 games. And when you put that in perspective, they didn't who had even once in the previous 26 games before that. Offense coming alive at the right time. One out. And that'll bring up Brian Goodwin. For 3 night for Goodwin. Ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout.
Goodwin, the left-handed hitter, gets a start tonight against tomorrow's left-handed starter, Keuchel. It'll probably be Nick Senzel in center field. Goodwin just got to be happy that Garrett Crochet is not in the game. A left-hander with a drop-dead breaking ball and a 101 fastball. He was the first batter that Crochet faced.
One and two, the count on Goodwin.
I have to say, thinking back on that 3-batter stint that Crochet had, I've seen a lot of major league debuts. I don't think I've ever seen one quite like that.
I'd like to go back and listen to the inning because I think there were a few wows coming in from both of us. Wow. Goodness.
I think those were coming from the dugouts.
Yeah. Down goes Goodwin. 2 outs in the inning.
Nice breaking ball there.
That'll bring up Jose Garcia.
He was a teenager when he originally signed with the Padres and eventually became a minor league free agent in 2017. That's when the White Sox scooped him up. He's only 25 years old, Jose Ruiz. Pitched in 40 games for this ball club last year.
1 for 3 game for Garcia. He singled back in the 4th. Second game of that doubleheader, Pirates and Cardinals. The Cardinals have now taken the lead 3-2. They're in the bottom of the 6th. Two balls and a strike on Garcia. Two and two. ahead to the ninth for the White Sox. Due up Encarnacion, Moncada, Luis Robert. Reds do have Sal Romano warming up in the pen. Here we go to the ninth. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by your local Toyota dealer. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. All right, let's answer our scoreboard stumper. 6 active players who have played for the Reds in their career. More than 200 or more Major League home runs. Who are they? Frazier, Chu, Kemp, Votto, Bruce, and this guy, Edwin Encarnacion, who has 423.
Well, if he hits a home run here, it'll be off a new pitcher, and that pitcher is Sal Romano. And when you talk about Sal Romano, not only a new pitcher in the ball game, but kind of a new delivery for Romano. If you remember seeing Romano pitch, and you probably did if you're a Reds fan, because he pitched many games here a couple of years ago in the rotation, worked out of the bullpen some, but he was straight over the top in kind of a herky-jerky fashion. And it looks like he's dropped his arm slot down significantly, so much so that for him, he probably feels like he's throwing sidearm.
Yeah. Line drive right at Goodwin. 1 down.
And I think what's going to get Romano is probably a little bit better lateral movement on his pitches. Maybe a little freer arm swing as he comes through it. And maybe a little better control.
Second appearance for Romano. He made his 2020 debut in the second game of a doubleheader versus the Pirates back on the 14th. Actually got the win, faced one batter, but it was a big batter. He came into the game with bases loaded as Jose De Leon left the game with injury. So he was cold and had to warm up on the mound. Got the out. It was a pop out, Gregory Polanco. And the Reds did some business in their half of the next inning, and he got the win. That was a big out in that game.
Oh, huge out. Polanco, tough left-handed hitter. You bring in a right-hander. It's always uncomfortable for a pitcher to warm up on the game mound. You know, when they say, well, he's got as many pitches as he wants, it's still the most uncomfortable warm-up that a pitcher can have. Oh, that's a good pitch.
96, where did it miss? Big Sally. This is Garcia in the shift. 2 down. Final batter, or the next batter, I should say, Luis Robert. They hope it's the final batter. That's pitchers with 10 strikeouts on the night. Should they get another one, it'll be $1,000 donated from La Rosas to the Reds Community Fund. Oh for 3 night for Robert. Ground out a couple of strikeouts. Reds an out away. Into right field, right at Castellanos, and that'll do it. The Reds win their 6th straight, and it's been a long road back. But now the Cincinnati Reds back to the 500 mark. 26 up, 26 down. 8 games left in the season. And right in line to hunt down a playoff spot as they take game one of this 3-game set against the high-powered Chicago White Sox.
You know, when you play like the Reds have played over the last week, you don't put pressure on yourself. You put pressure on the other teams that are in your division vying for those playoff spots. And I think they're the ones watching the scoreboards. Right now, the Reds are watching themselves.
We're 5-5 back on August 3rd, very early in the season. And a long journey back to 500. But that's where David Bell's crew is right now. And it was a home run kind of a night, and the Reds have relied on that long ball here in 2020. Castellanos with a home run, Votto with a home run, Winker with a 3-run home run, as well as Tucker Barnhart with a solo shot. We are standing by for Tucker Barnhart to visit with Jeff Piecoro after another big victory for the Cincinnati Reds. And let's go down to Pick.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jim. It's been a long time, as you just said, since the Reds were at 500, but they finally get there. Tucker, I know that's one of the goals is, hey, get to 500, just keep winning games, right?
Yeah, we're trying to take it one day at a time and just keep winning. I mean, that's all we can do. Everything else is out of our control, but coming to the park every day, expecting to win, doing everything we can to win however we can, that's something we've been preaching, and it's been working.
You know, Tucker, I can ask you this because I know you pretty well, and coming into this series, it seemed like everybody was talking about these guys in the other dugout. It was like the 27 Yankees coming in here, you know? And but you guys really put it to them tonight and showed them, hey, you guys can hit the long ball as well.
No doubt. I mean, all credit to them. It's a damn good offense over there. Our guys pitched really well tonight and held them in check, which is tough to do, which a lot of people haven't been doing. So, yeah, we came out swinging tonight to get a quick lead like we did there in the third inning. Is huge, especially when we've got Tyler going like he was, and TJ and Sal coming in to shut the door. It definitely sets us up pretty good for the next 2 days.
One question about Tyler before I talk back about you. Fastball was really good tonight, but I thought his slider was exceptional.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he's been working hard. He's been really reliable for us of late. Come on, guys. You know, for us, he's huge. He's the guy that kind of bridges the gap between our top 3 guys, and for him to be able to give us a start like he did tonight is huge.
All right, Tuck, so here's the big question tonight, and I think I know the answer to this too. The home run or the throw out? What was better for you? What you rank higher?
Man, I'll always talk about my defense, man, so I'll definitely go with throwing the guy out there for sure. No question about it.
But you'll take that bomb. 0-2, and it looked like you tried to maybe sneak a fastball by you?
No question. I'll take him whenever I can get him. I don't hit him a ton, so I feel good at the plate. Just gotta keep going. Got to do whatever I can to help the team win.
Well, congratulations on another big win.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Tucker Barnhart, boy, I'll tell you what, one of 4 big bombs for the Reds tonight.